Black burn.
Enterprises.
All right, so let's get into our favorite subject.
Oh Lord.
Not really, but politics. So a lot of different subjects that the politicians are talking about. Well, one of them that I guess I just want to put a pin on is healthcare. And it seems like when it comes to those that are Democrats and those that are Republicans, they have definitely a different outlook on healthcare in general. Why do you think this is such an important topic?
I think it's important, especially for me, because I've had health issues,
Mm-hmm.
still have health issues, and insurance is crazy expensive and it doesn't cover a lot. So I think if you're the general, society who isn't billionaires and has the money
Exactly.
to cover everything, it's an important issue because everybody needs health care.
Right. The crazy thing is, I don't know if it's one of those things where you would think that it's something that we would have been just got over. Like, okay, we saw this problem. Let's go on to this other stuff.
Yeah.
Because me and my wife was watching that's what it was, John Q. It just came to me. We was watching John Q. Came out in 2002, and everybody knows the movie and what happened. If you haven't seen John Q, please go see John Q.
Yes.
But but the situation happens, and puts Denzel Washington's character into dire straits, and you would have that conversation was held then, but still at this point now we're still dealing with it. Like, how messed up do you think that is? Like,
I think it's super messed up, but I'm not shocked. I think the United States has proven time and time again that money is all powerful.
This is true.
And we all know healthcare, medications, that's a booming business. And
right.
Universal healthcare is going to cause a lot of rich people to lose a lot of money. So.
Right. And that really, that I guess kind of angers me when I think about it, because the people that I was pulling for at the time, that was Bernie and Elizabeth Warren. They were more so talking about universal health care.
Yes.
So why? So this might be a hard question to answer, but I'm just going to put it out there. Why do you think that with Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, talking about universal health care, and a lot of people wanting that, somehow or another, people still then jump on board with them?
I think that's more of the older generation than anything. I think the older generation is very stuck in their ways. And some of the things that Bernie talks about or Elizabeth Warren have talked about seems very far-fetched to them. I think their majority of their supporters were the younger generation who were all about change and fixing things. And we realized that what we have been doing is not working.
It's not working.
So it's, we have to have change.
Right. I don't like change.
Yeah.
Like, not at all. So what are some other things, or topics rather, that you feel like are important for you when it comes to you and you voting for a particular candidate?
Well, first and foremost is white supremacy and racism. And
yes, definitely.
Disowning it, which one candidate we all know did not do that.
This is exactly right.
That's an issue.
Right.
Because even though I'm biracial, a lot of my family are African Americans. And even if they weren't, it's a human rights issue. Like,
right.
I want people in this society, regardless of the color of their skin or their ethnicity or their background, to be able to walk and live their life normally without having prejudices or bias or being killed on camera and nothing happening.
Right.
That, to me, right now, is at the top of my list.
Right. And that's super important. But for some reason, it seems like people still aren't getting it. And sometimes I wonder, like, I wonder, is it just that they just don't want to get it, or are just people just really that dumb? What do you think?
I think both, because you'll be surprised how many of my family members who are white, how many people I've grown up with my entire life who I've known for years that I know aren't racist still openly support him, and they find every avenue they can to justify them supporting him, and it makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. I can't wrap my mind around it.
And the interesting, and you bring up an interesting thing, because I seen something on the news the other day something like 2020 or one of those news programs where basically it was like a college house, and basically one half of the house was supporting Biden and the other half was supporting Trump. But they still, it showed how, I guess the story was like, yeah, if we could be like them, then maybe, you know.
Yeah, and I'm so sick of seeing that. Like, I'm just going to be completely honest. All the posts saying, you know, regardless of who you vote for, we can still be friends. If this was just a normal political debate, then I would absolutely agree. But it's obvious to me that if you vote for one candidate, there's more at stake than just politics. There are literal lives that are at risk. So it goes beyond politics. This is literally a human rights issue.
And it brings another interesting question. Do you think, or how hard, or are you able to separate what a person does from who they are?
In certain instances, yes, because when Trump first happened, I did a lot of deleting.
Delete.
Yes, a lot of people that I've known my whole life that I know have never treated me differently, but because of their political views and their thoughts on certain things, we did part ways. But there are still a couple people on my Facebook that every once in a while I'll see a Trump post pop up, and it's just heartening. But
definitely,
their approach, I think, makes a difference in the particulars of what they're sharing, because not everybody that I find that votes for Trump believes in everything that he says.
Right.
But there are certain areas that, for me, are just a deal breaker.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, that certain things are deal breakers, and a lot of situations there are nuances too. But it makes me think. I mean, in addition to politics, when it comes to celebrities or anyone that you support, you know, just having those things that you're okay with and you're not okay with, and I think a lot of times people choose to look the other way.
Yeah.
What do you think about that and people's ability to do that? Like, for example, and I just spoke with someone earlier about this with the whole Megan and Tory situation, how people overlook the situation just because they wanted to listen to an album.
Yeah, and I deleted a lot of people with that one too. So if you're on my Facebook or Instagram and you listen to Tory, let me know so I can delete you. I guess it's just particulars of the situation, and there's just certain things I can't overlook.
Right.
When that situation with Tory and Megan happened, I definitely went back and deleted anything that has his music in it. I will not download the new album. I will not, put money in your pocket to listen to you degrade another black woman. It's not gonna happen.
Right. I guess my thing is the challenge. I feel like today a lot of people don't is no one wants to hold themselves accountable for anything.
I agree.
And to bring it back to Trump, I feel like he doesn't. There's no self accountability for anything.
There's none. He's like a little kid who goes on temper tantrums, and I don't get it.
Right. Even most recently, when there had a super spreader event, with COVID, they still take no responsibility for anything. The fact that half of his all the people there, they now have COVID, or like Joint Chiefs, they're all isolated. Like so many people within his administration right now are in isolation now because his refusal to wear a mask.
Simple car ride, like leaving the hospital and wanting to
like why
ride just to wave at people. And everybody involved in that have to quarantine. Like how childish?
Yes, how juvenile is that?
Are you like it's?
That reminds me like you're a teenager or something. And be like, man, I got to get out this house, man. Hey, bro, let's go ride down the street. That's like that's the epitome of what it was.
I'm going to make you sick, but I just need to wave at them real quick. Like,
right. It's for lack of a better word.
Yeah, because I don't get it. I feel like, when you're in that position, when you're the president of the United States, you're supposed to be thinking about everybody around you. You are in charge of the United States,
right.
But it doesn't seem to click with him.
Definitely a higher level of accountability.
Yes.
Right. You gotta love those Twitter fingers. All right. Now we're about to get a little personal.
Yes.
Okay. We definitely want to talk more about when you learned that you had cancer. How did that happen for you?